Am I the butthole for kicking my friend out of my car and telling her to never call me for a ride? A little backstory. I, 24 male, have a car rock. It used to be my grandfather's and he would always have it in his car as a lucky totem and had it for about 30 years according to my mom, but he passed away when I was around 5. I don't have much to remember him besides a few pictures of us, his ring, a knife and this rock. When I turned 18 my mom gave me the knife, ring and rock because my grandfather wanted me to receive these on my 18th birthday. I keep his knife in my room, wear the ring every day, and in the past 6 years I've had kept that rock in my car too and kept it as a lucky totem as well. Sometimes when I drive I'll have the rock in my hand and just rub my thumb over and it kind of gives me peace of mind. I don't really know how to explain it in words, I guess. So on to the story. This happened last night. My friend Jane, 26 female, car is currently in the shop for repairs of an accident. She got rear-ended and it messed up her whole back end. So the past week she has either been Ubering or asking friends to pick her up when her shift is done, and that's around 7:30 p.m. Her work is about 30 minutes away from me and she lives about 10 minutes from me. So last night she called me at 7 p.m. and asked me if I could pick her up, and so I said sure, no big deal. So I pick her up and everything was fine until I picked up my rock and rubbing it, Jane asked what was in my hand. I showed it to her and said this is my lucky rock, I sometimes rub it whenever I drive. She asked to hold it and I gave it to her. She told me that the rock is stupid, and before I could say anything back she threw it out the window. I screamed, what the F, why did you do that? Jane said rocks are stupid and lucky items don't work. At this point I'm probably 5 minutes away from her house, so I pulled over in a grocery store lot and asked her to get out. Jane asked why I was making a big deal about, so I told her the meaning behind the rock. And finally I said, until you find that rock and give it back to me, never call me for a ride and you're never allowed into my car again. She ended up getting out of my car and I drove to vicinity of where she threw it at, and I spent about 2 hours trying to find it. During those 2 hours friends from our group called me asking what happened and I explained my side. Most of the group knew the significance of the rock because I've given them rides before and they asked about it. Those ones are on my side, but the last few are calling me the butthole because I left a woman alone to walk home in the dark. I do feel guilty for kicking her out and I felt like I could have handled the situation better. So Reddit, am I the butthole for kicking my friend out of my car and banning her from entering my car over a rock? Edit, I will update if I do or don't find the rock. Edit 2, thank you everyone for the kind words, it really means a lot. I haven't found it yet, but I am getting a group together to help me search for it Friday. A few people have asked for updates, so I'll probably give a more detailed one on Saturday or Sunday. I didn't find it last night, but I am going back out today when the sun is out, so hopefully I can find it. Bit might be silly, but you should try calling your local police station, not 911 but the actual station, and asking them if they have any K9s who need some extra training or something, and then tell them your story and say you're hoping they'll be able to sniff out the rock. They might dismiss you and the story is silly. But if framed as extra training they might go for it, since the rock would be coated in your scent and oils as with the surrounding rocks from your initial search, but the main rock should have the strongest scent to it. You know, I just read this and realized that it's called K9 because they are dogs, K9. Laughing out loud, sorry, silly moment, I hadn't noticed that until now. I'm not a native English speaker, so I will use that as excuse, embarrassed smiley face. This comment is actually really wholesome. Thanks for sharing. Don't feel bad because many Americans don't know that's why they're called K9s. I can't speak for other English-speaking countries though. When I first heard of the term I thought the police force were fans of Doctor Who. This was back in the 80s when the original run was airing in all its papier-mâché SFX glory. It took me a little while longer to get why K9 was called K9, but hey, we had our 2D2 and Keppo, so a robotic dog called K9 seemed like it fit right in. That said, I knew White Rabbit was about drugs early on. I was in my 20s, nearly 30 without doing the maths, when I found out it was Alice in Wonderland too. I'm a native English speaker and I didn't put this together until I read your post, person facepalming, olive skin. Hold me. I realized when I was little and I was like, do they know K9 sounds like canine? I thought I was the first person to ever make that connection, lol. When I was younger and we were on a car trip, there was a K9 unit in front of us. It took a good while to get Mum, English native speaker, to get it. We were like canine tooth, canine dog. The light bulb did eventually go on over her head, and she is usually a smart woman. LOL. I am a native English speaker and I still have realizations like this about words and sayings. I'm impressed you had one in a non-native language. Thank you. I've been speaking it since I was a teenager. I'm 27 now, and ever since I was 18 I have worked with US citizens, so I've been practicing every day. Spanish is my native language, so I would usually read K9 in Spanish. Right now my brain didn't do the switch when I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. Listen, I am a native English speaker and I didn't realize it until I read your comment. Good grief. Fellow ESL speaker here, thank you, because until about K9, thanks to your comment, hugging face, because quite frankly I never got it, person facepalming, person shrugging, and I always thought it was a weird US thing, thoughtful face, confused face, mind blown. I realized it now. When you spelled it out for me, embarrassed smiley face. I thank Doctor Who for my lightbulb moment on that. User 90 Happy Man, you should take a look at this comment, it might help. Also, NTA. She had no right to do that to something of yours just because she thinks lucky items don't work. Who cares if they don't work? It's yours, and you can do whatever you want with it. Reddit link. OF yeah, thanks. There's a local station near there and hopefully they have a K9 unit. Based on your post history, maybe be super careful around drug-sniffing police dogs. Embarrassed smiley face. I don't keep that stuff in my car, only in my desk drawer. Very fair. I don't know how sensitive their noses are to it. Is that a pun? Super good luck with your rock though. I understand the pain of losing something completely irreplaceable. My wallet got stolen this Christmas and it has a $2 from 1972 my great-aunt gave me, as well as a $5 Canadian bill from my partners and my first vacation together. It was a heartbreaking loss. Even if that wasn't an intentional pun, that still made me laugh, and F that person who stole your wallet. Going to need an update when you find your rock though. I really hope you find it. I only have a few things from my late grandfather, too, and I'm trying to avoid looking around my room too much because I'm pretty sure at least one of them got thrown away when someone in my house reorganized my room while I was on a trip. Really hope you find your rock, mate. I also had a rock, from my grandfather, a little boulder opal, and I used to hold it because I found it comforting. It was stolen from my car years ago and it still makes me sad. I used to keep it in my purse. Lucky items don't work. Well, your luck just ran out. Get the F out of my car. This is an amazing idea. Honestly, the right officer would definitely jump on that opportunity to train their dog and help someone out. I hope that this is the case, because my first thought was, what? He'll be laughed out of the station. I'd love to be wrong on that. That's a great idea. Also, search and rescue teams often have dogs that can use scent practice. Really sorry to burst the bubble, but property searches need to be ASAP after the incident, as the scent wears off pretty quickly. Generally, if it's not within the hour, chances are low, but this is weather/conditions dependent. His scent from rubbing the rock won't dissipate that quickly. It gets weaker, but should be traceable for a dog for quite some time after that hour. When we train following a trail, we always wait half an hour to an hour for the scent trail to narrow and be easier to follow. Main issue is everywhere will smell of him since he's been searching the area. Makes sense about scent being everywhere, especially if he's picked up other rocks in the area while searching. I guess the GP dogs I've seen work will not normally attend if it's over an hour due to the traveling time, etc. They're going to get laughed at. You obviously have never met a cop. Depends where you live. If you're in a small town, sometimes cops are bored enough to do something like that. I've seen them come out to help someone look for a lost ring. Hope you read this, it's very clever. Not the butthole. Who needs enemies with friends like this one? She has no right to throw away other people's stuff. My grandmother died when I was 14. I have my grandmother's tailor's scissors and tape measure. I treat them like sacred. Once when I was in HS, my dad used them when I wasn't home. I saw immediately when I walked into my room that the scissors were moved, and then saw that the tape was missing and he couldn't tell me where it was. I searched the house and turned out he put it in the sewing box. I blew up and ripped his head off. No one touched them ever since. They don't even ask me if they can use them, not even guests. I've got my nan's lucky piece of coal. You should never mess with sentimental things like that. It's just wrong. I'm an atheist, but when my grandma died in 2007, I was 29. My mother asked me what I wanted of hers and I chose her rosary and her cross necklace. Why? Because I never saw her without that necklace, and I have very fond memories of going to church with her on Sunday and her teaching me what the rosary were and what the prayers were. That meant something. I keep them in a special box in my closet, and if anyone dared touch them there would be hell to pay and I would no longer associate with that person. I love stories like this. These items are sacred. Never let people touch such items unless they ask, and you can always say no. Even the tiniest bit of scrap paper can be significant. I had a single panel from a comic strip cut out and taped to the bottom of my computer monitor at work. Nobody gave it to me. It was just something I saw when I was just starting my career, and in that moment, it spoke to me. I carried it from workstation to workstation, job to job. Once it was stuck to my monitor, I felt like I could get to work. One day, many years and a handful of jobs later, an IT guy came by to work on my computer, said I hate it when people tape crap to their monitors, and just casually ripped it off, tearing it nearly in half. I said something furious to him. He got miffed and bounced off to his boss to complain. Fortunately, the boss knew me and said, "Well, if you made her mad then you did something wrong, because she doesn't get mad." Turns out the little prick had been doing this all over the building. He didn't get fired over this, but he didn't last long either. Fortunately, one of my co-workers was a scrapbooker and she fixed it up for me with archival this and acid-free that, and now I'm sitting here looking at it. It's almost like people should just respect other people's property. Besides, it takes less effort to leave crap alone. I hope you can find it, heart. While I hope you do find it, it gave you one last piece of good luck by getting rid of a crap friend. Update us, please. Jane is a terrible ass person. Can we make tap a thing? Think of all the time we will save, just by using tap, because wow, did there seem to be a lot of taps on here lately. Good luck finding your rock, op. Your friend is a total butthole. I have some rocks from my grandpa, that he tumbled, and I keep a lucky one in my car too. I do the same thing you did if someone chucked it out the window. Where are you located? Some of us with spare time can maybe help? Sending you good vibes. I hope you find it. I wish you all the luck in the world to find it. Your friend is a giant turd. I'm so sorry. I really hope you can find it. The extra light should help. Not the butthole, who asks for something for the sole purpose of disposing it like that? You are doing her a favor. She can keep her opinions to herself for 30 minutes. I would expect an apology before speaking to her again, and no more rides until that rock is found. She tried calling me today a few times to apologize, but I've been ignoring all her calls. I probably wouldn't return them. She doesn't seem like a very good friend. Probably for the best she showed her true colors, even if what she did was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I don't plan on calling her back, and I think this will end our friendship. Only thing that might salvage this is if she finds that rock. A good friend would be organizing everybody she knows to spend the afternoon combing that whole stretch of road until they find it. A good friend wouldn't have disposed of Op's property no matter how stupid she thought it was. A merely okay person would be organizing people to help find it once they learned the sentimentality of the rock. I don't even know Op, and I would join the search if it was nearby. I'm barely even a person. But, how? It's a rock that probably only original poster can identify. I just don't see how a search party would work unless the rock is visually unique in some way. They can gather all rocks in that area that look well handled, aka look like they were in a rock tumbler, all smooth and shiny from hand oils. Then let original poster review them. That's what they can do. Rocks that have been kept by humans, particularly rubbed a lot, look and feel different from an average rock you might find somewhere randomly. They also smell differently because they have skin oils on them. I use a small river rock as a pumice stone in my bathroom. I've had that rock for about 6 or 7 years now, and it is definitely much smoother than it was when I first got it. As well as the below points, odds are good it's not native to the area in rock type. It'll be distinctive though as it is polished. Op comment. Not sure how anyone who hasn't seen the rock is going to recognize it unless there was something distinctive about it. She should definitely be out there looking for it herself if she is really sorry. Even if you find the rock, why would you ever let her back in your life? She took something you said was important and threw it away, on purpose. She's a horrible person, just block that number. As a finder of lost things, my family actually refers to it as my superpower. My recommendation is to start looking farther back from where you think it could be, and systematically work your way forward. Don't look at every single rock, but look for the shape/size and color of your rock. Because it is familiar to you, it may be easy to overlook. Go through and do a general sweep. Then, go back and look closer. You will be able to narrow down areas that you are sure it isn't in, and have a better chance of finding it. Okay, thanks for the advice. I'll be sure to follow this when I look for it in a bit. Maybe take a video with your phone as you sweep too. Then you could watch it on slow motion and possibly see it? Edited for typo. I was coming here to say the same thing. Always decide the furthest it could have possibly gone, and then look a little further than that. I feel like humans are really bad at understanding how fast cars travel. You can cover a lot of ground at a few minutes or even seconds. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.